Extreme sports are an exciting, challenging, and with few expectations, save than the critics suggest. In today's often sedentary world, extreme sports offer a rare opportunity for young people to push themselves to the limit and have fun at the same time. It's even better time having fun because organizations so big, such as Red Bull, Rockstar, and Monster, are supporting such events or such sports that people are encouraged or feel like they are encouraged to join such extreme sports. But there are controversies toward extreme sports because critics are saying that young teens are pushing themselves to the limits, which is not very good for them and could cause serious injury. But this controversy started in the late 20th century with some regular sports considering themselves extreme. When becoming so popular, traditional sports had to become more commercialized for people to become more into what they are. At the same time, extreme sports such as skateboarding, motocross, and drifting were becoming really popular, making events such as X Games and Dew Tour. Traditional sports have tried to decrease how much extreme sports are being commercialized by making their own networks, such as Fox Sports, CBS Sports Network, even ESPN. So when these sports networks were to come out, people would go toward them and ignore what the extreme sports community was doing at the time, because if people are so drawn into these networks, they are so into the traditional sports that they don't really get to care about extreme sports. But traditional sports enthusiasts argue extreme sports are too physically risky, especially to young athletes. Though organizations created laws toward the extreme sports having to wear protective gear, and this law was given by J. Stephen Celsus, the counselor and senator of William J. Larkin Jr., a Republican from the Hull University, said the senator pushed this law because many police officers were complaining that children were not wearing enough protective gear doing the sports that they were doing, which could cause big injuries toward the young people of our era. But these sports have given a second opportunity to those who want to do something else more than traditional sports, because but extreme sports have been given a second opportunity to others who don't want to just do traditional sports and be more thrill seekers. Yes, example, skateboarding is dangerous. There have been recorded people who have broken their legs, arms, fingers, backs, even getting concussions, broken teeth. Also, motocross with broken ankles, knees, wrists, collarbones, along with shoulder blades being dislocated. It's also been a factor of drifting, where people have gotten concussions, mass concussions, have been put into traumas of how scary it was. Bones being broken, knees, wrists being broken, and evidently death has occurred with car crashes when drifting. I am very familiar with both skateboarding and drifting. They are very fun, yes, but it's very fun, yes, with friends and all of them, but it's very important to put into consideration the safety into everything. Cut that out. When I've entered either skateboarding, I've always had to sign a waiver for the importance of the sport and how dangerous it could be. It's also mandatory to wear protective gear. Helmets would be the least. The best would be shoulder pads or knee pads. When drifting, they're even more strict with their safety because they care about the car's condition and make sure that you are in the right state of mind. They do drug tests before. They even have to check the car twice before you're even allowed to go on the track. As a matter of fact, after this, I'm going to be going out and we're doing both of those after this. This service is easily solvable because of how dangerous these extreme sports are. Laws have been put in place to lessen the danger of these sports and make sure that it's even more safe than it is now. Things have already been put into place to take care of these dangers. Medical operators are always on the sidelines in either skate events, motocross events, or drift events. Uh, Not only this, but neither do extreme sports as no. Oh, cut that out. Sports gear is also mandatory when entering these kinds of sports throughout this time. Extreme sports are being so commercialized. Not only do the traditional sports enthusiasts or critics not like this, but neither do the extreme sports athletes as well, because they all grew up into being into their own, not being supported by any kind of group or organizations, because they have always relied on themselves or others, just having fun and doing what they do, not having to wait on a team, not having to wait on a team, or having to wait on others, because when, as an example, skateboarding, all you need is yourself and the right state of mind to be able to do what you want. Extreme sports is very known around the world, but to others, they are too dangerous to participate in, which is a big issue because many young teens are very supportive of this, but their parents may not be. My parents weren't at first, but they grew to love it as well as I did. But this kind of issue has been very worldwide issue, because many people have been considering trying to terminate extreme sports because of how dangerous it is. Though there have been many laws to try to counter that and try to be able to make them safe, but people still argue that it's too dangerous for them or too dangerous for others. But to my fellow group extreme sports enthusiasts, it is well worth it, because the thrill of doing what you love and the thrill of the danger, thrill seekers, is very well worth it. Because having the thrill of these sports is very, very fun. This is something that you can't get from regular traditional sports such as soccer or basketball or golf. You can't get these kind of thrills from traditional sports such as golf or tennis or soccer. Top organizations like Red Bull have reassured the law's safety and regulations and will not be changing anytime soon. As a matter of fact, the only thing that will be changing is being added with more laws at the time, because they want to make sure that even the athletes and enthusiasts their big organizations such as Red Bull are making sure that these laws will stay safe and will be regulated throughout every event that is being made. And as a matter of fact, the only thing that will be changing from these laws will be adding more laws onto this with the help of sports enthusiasts or athletes, making sure that these sports remain still thrill-worthy but safe at the same time. The only thing athletes could do is make sure they follow these regulations and these laws, and then people could make sure that they can have fun with what they're doing as well as being safe at the same time. Even if they didn't, they would have to follow these regulations, because if not, they are not allowed to enter the kind of event that they want to do on the type of sport that they're willing to play in. If these regularities are not followed, that serious injury can occur to the athletes and even to the enthusiasts, because if they try to mimic what they see on TV without being confirmed that it's safe, then they as well can be injured at the same time. So, Are extreme sports safe and worthy of alternatives? No. So are extreme sports safe, worthwhile alternatives to trading sport? So are extreme sport no. So are extreme sports safe and worthwhile alternatives to traditional sports? Psst. Heck yeah. Dang it. No. Heck yeah. Because if it wasn't, then my mom probably wouldn't let me be playing these sports. Stop it.